Talk about running up a tab. The European Union's antitrust regulator slapped Apple with a huge bill today. Its reason? Ireland granted the tech company unfair tax breaks for more than a decade, and the back taxes come out to a whopping $14.5 billion. And Apple isn't happy about it, saying, quote, "The European Commission has launched an effort to rewrite Apple's history in Europe, ignore Ireland's tax laws, and upend the international tax system in the process." The Commission's case is not about how much Apple pays in taxes, it's about which government collects the money. It will have a profound and harmful effect on investment and job creation in Europe. Apple follows the law and pays all of the taxes we owe wherever we operate. We will appeal, and we are confident the decision will be overturned. Julia Chatterley has more from Brussels.
The European Commission, which is Europe's executive body, has decided that Apple must pay up to $14 billion over to the Irish government in order to settle unpaid tax claims. Now, this is because they believe that the tax arrangement between Ireland and Apple was unfair. It was too lenient on Apple. Now, the big irony here is that the Irish government don't want the money. They want to protect their beneficial relationship with Apple and other US firms that bring jobs and investment into Ireland. Now, Apple has already responded. They say they believe this ruling is unfair and that it will ultimately be overturned. They say that this is less about the corporation tax that they're paying, the rate at which is less than 1% in this case. They say it's more about tackling the government and their tax practices, in this case, Ireland.
It's up to the Irish authorities to make sure that the setup is in accordance both with Irish tax law and European state aid rules.
Now, these aren't the only people to complain. The US Treasury has also stepped in today too, and they've said that ultimately this will have a detrimental impact on US firms investing in Europe. I also tackled the competition commissioner on this, and I said, what message are you sending here to US firms that are actually trying to bring investment to Europe?
We're sending a message to any taxpayer in Europe, being multinationals or standalone companies, being big companies or small companies, European or foreign, that this is a wonderful place to do business and to invest. But you have to play by the rules and not to rely on unfair tax benefits.
$14.5 billion to Apple is nothing compared to the $215 billion that they have sitting overseas around the world. They can afford this. And analysts at JP Morgan say actually, even if this amount is charged, ultimately it won't have an impact on Apple's share price, but the ramifications are far bigger. What does this mean for US firms operating here in Europe? There are investigations going on into Amazon and to McDonald's at this point too. And what we're looking at is one heck of a legal battle between Apple, between the Irish government and between European officials over who pays what tax that could have far greater ramifications going forward. For Nightly Business Report, I'm Julia Chatterley in Brussels.